Hey everyone, it's Eric from Squat Wedgies. Today I'm going to show you 5 exercises you can do at home to strengthen your knees with our 20-degree sumo squat wedgie. Up first is the heel elevated step down. This is an excellent exercise to strengthen the knee without placing too much load on the knee joint. Shorter ranges of motion tend to be safer for people in pain or people with a little bit of knee issues. From the side, you can see I'm bending my hip and my knee. So I don't want to see those hips shooting forward. That's an advanced variation of the movement because that's going to load the knee joint more. Rather, start out by bending that hip and the knee so we can strengthen the thigh muscles and the hips and the glutes together. When you lower down, make sure that heel stays glued down to your wedgie. In the beginning stages, I'd rather you work on keeping that heel glued throughout so we can improve that ankle mobility. Aim for 20 to 30 reps by 2 to 3 sets. Up next, we have the toes elevated calf raise. The calf muscle is often neglected, but we want to prioritize this muscle because it plays an essential role in force absorption during walking, running, and jumping. Start out with your heels at the bottom of your wedgie, grab onto a wall or chair for support, lean forward slightly to intensify the stretch, and then push through your toes to get to that top position. Lower down nice and slow for a 2 count, and then right back up again for 20 to 30 reps. Once you get to those 30 reps, take a break and repeat that 2 to 3 times. If you can do that without pain or without soreness, the following week, I want you to move on to a single leg calf raise where one leg is going to float in the air like this, and we're going to do that same exact thing, but this time we're going to aim for just 15 to 20 reps. Our third exercise is our toes elevated isometric split squat. This is an excellent exercise at improving our ankle mobility, our hip flexor mobility, and strengthening the joints around the knee and the hip flexor on the rear leg. Start out in this 90-90 position where my knee is underneath my hip or slightly behind it, and my front knee is slightly in front of the ankle so we can stretch out that calf muscle and improve the ankle mobility. From there, I'm going to place my hands on my pelvis and turn it slightly towards this working knee. You should feel that pelvis turn to the left. Next, I'm going to lift my leg up off the ground, going to the top position of the movement. Master the 30-second hold here. And then over time, as you get stronger, work your way down to that bottom position where your knee's only off the ground by 1 inch. You're going to start to feel tons of shaking on that rear leg, and that's exactly what we want. When we're in this toe elevated position, not only are we improving our ankle mobility on that front leg by getting a little bit of a stretch in that calf and bottom of the foot, but it's also pushing our center of mass backwards, which is training that hip flexor and quad in that lengthened position. And as you know, we are a culture that sits constantly. So getting length and strength in this muscle is extremely important for knee health. If you feel too much pain on that back leg, simply go up a little higher, owning this position first before lowering down. Your goal is to do 30 seconds per side, but make sure you take a break in between legs because as you can see, I'm training the back leg and the front leg, so I don't want to jump into this other side right away because this leg's going to be sore. So do like a 1-to-1 rest to work ratio, as in if you do 30 seconds on one leg, rest 30 seconds in between, and then jump in to the other side. Aim for 2 sets per leg, with the ultimate goal of working up to 60 seconds per leg by 3 sets. Up next, we have the single leg floating heel glute bridge. This is an awesome movement to strengthen the calf, glute, and hamstring, 3 muscles that play an essential role in stabilizing the knee. Most times we only focus on the quadriceps when it comes to knee stability, but the muscles on the back side of the leg cannot be neglected because they play such an essential role in force absorption during our walking, running, and sprinting movements. Start out on your back with your left knee pulled into your chest. Arms are at your side. Float the heel off the ground. You want to have that leg at a nice 45-degree angle. From there, I'm going to scoop my hips off the ground, making sure that lower back's not arching. Engage the glute by pushing the big toe into the wedgie, and then I'm going to inhale quietly through the nose. Get a nice long exhale through the mouth and hold this position for 1 minute. What you're going to find is that hamstring and calf and glute working quite hard to stabilize this position. Make sure that knee doesn't push outward. You'll feel a little activation on that lateral hip or the outside of your hip. We don't want that. Rather, think about almost like tugging the knee in a little bit to get a little bit of that inner thigh, because that's gonna place a little bit of a greater stretch on the glute muscle. Aim for a 60-second hold by 2 to 3 sets per side. Last but not least, we have the heels elevated 1.5 rep squat. The heels elevated position is going to load the quadriceps more and allow us to get a greater burn in that muscle with less weight. Plus, the extra rep in that bottom position is going to train the knee in that stretch position, which is going to make the knee less prone to injury. So let's teach you how to do this incredible movement. Start out with your feet at a hip distance or shoulder width position. The hip distance position is going to bias your quadriceps even more. If that's too much loading on the knee joint, just walk your feet out a little bit when performing that squat pattern. From the side, I want your eyes looking straight ahead over the horizon. Reach your arms out in front of you to pull your center of mass backwards. If you feel you're getting a lot of lower back tension, just gently tuck those hips underneath you. Bend the hips and the knees together, going all the way down as low as we can without pain. Once I reach my bottom, I'm gonna go up halfway and then lower right back down again. That's why this exercise is so awesome. And then go all the way back up to that starting position. That's 1 rep. I want you to do this 15 times, pain-free, by 3 sets before adding any weight. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to strengthen your knees at home with a wedgie. And if you're looking for some high quality slant boards or squat wedges, please head to squatwedgies.com. And don't forget, if you found this video valuable, please share with a friend and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for letting me give you a wedgie.